Hey, God bless you. That's my little brother. No, I'm kidding. Boy, such energy in this room, and the sun's coming out, and we're in Ocean City, and we're even running ahead of schedule, I'm told. Yes. How on earth can that happen? It'll give you some time to get out on the beach, I guess. It's wonderful to be with all of you, and I'm looking forward. I understand we're going to be having a bit of a town hall after this, Madam President, and so I'm looking forward. I hope some of you come in there. We'll have little opening remarks, but then open it up to discussion as together we search for the ways to improve public education in the great state of Maryland. It's wonderful to be here with all of you just 2.5 weeks before this election. And during all of these weeks, I want to thank your leadership, and I want to thank every member of MSEA who has been giving of your time to knock on doors, to make those persuasion calls to your friends and your neighbors in this dialogue about the direction that our country needs to take in the years ahead. If they ask you whether or not elections have consequences, you might well remind them of what's going on in places like Wisconsin, or places like New Jersey, or places like Virginia. You might remind them of what happens when we disregard the arithmetic and the benefits of increased investments and important endeavors that we can only do together, like education, and instead we replace them with some alternative universe Tea Party reality. Those who run on a phony promise of restoring our country's economy, when they get into office, they demagogue educators. They govern by rolling back individual freedoms, rolling back individual rights, rolling back workers' rights, rolling back even basic voting rights. And that's what's happening in many of these other states. Not here, because the Maryland that you carry in your heart is a Maryland that you work for every single day in the classroom. And you're working for it when you're on those phone banks, when you're knocking on those doors, and when you're urging your neighbors to move forward. We worked hard, and we worked together in the course of many a noble campaign in order to move our state forward. And because we won, think about the things that we together have been able to accomplish. Working together, we've made record investments in Maryland public schools after you and I and our fellow Marylanders increased our investment in K-12 education by nearly $2 billion in tough times. Working together, we made record investments in school construction since that first press conference that when Anthony Brown joined this campaign, and we declared that it is not right that so many of our children should go to school in temporary learning shacks instead of modern classrooms. So we have made record investments in school construction. And I want to thank you sincerely for this last one, and that is the TEL survey. The TEL survey, which we implemented throughout Maryland. You and your leadership were instrumental in bringing that TEL survey into reality, which actually asks you, the teachers, the practitioners, the people on the front lines with our kids in that most noble of missions that goes on in our state, that education mission. We ask you in that TEL survey to tell us what sort of things we can do differently and do better in order to improve the learning environment. So let's have a little bit of audience participation here, shall we? You ready for this? It's an oldie but a goodie. You've heard it before. With the #1 public schools in the United States of America for 4 years in a row, together we are moving Maryland forward, not back. With record student achievement in the classroom, together we are moving Maryland forward, not back. With tangible progress in closing the achievement gap between white and black students in our state, together we are moving Maryland forward, not back. With more affordable college for more Maryland families. In fact, according to the College Board, no state has done a better job of holding the line on rising tuition costs than your state, because in Maryland, we move forward, not back. And by together creating 25,500 new Maryland jobs over just these past 12 months. Together with Maryland businesses, we are moving Maryland forward, not back. I understand that our comptroller spoke just before I did. He is a man who travels with a dark cloud over his head and cold water in a pail in his hands. He is a man who never loses or misses the opportunity to be against something if it will get him on TV. He is sort of like Maryland's own version of Mitt Romney. He's never saw an issue he couldn't be on both sides of. He is a man who will tell you to vote against gaming in Maryland, even though when he was in the House of Delegates, he sponsored a bill for gaming in Maryland. But the truth matters, and there are some objective truths, including the fact that the Bureau of Labor Statistics came out today with its monthly job reports showing that Maryland last month created 9,000 net new jobs, our best month in 12. Over the last 23 months, despite the fairy tale and dour fiction that the comptroller was dumping on all of us, the fact of the matter is that Maryland actually ranks 23rd in private sector job growth among the 50 states. This latest month, we actually had the 6th highest rate of private job growth in America. If you look at the rate of recovery of jobs among the 50 states, we've actually achieved the 8th fastest rate of jobs recovery among the 50 states. Our neighbors in Virginia rank 11th. Not bad. You know, we want our entire region to do well. But the truth of the matter is that we are moving forward and not back. There is no progress without jobs. And there are no jobs unless you do your job, educating the next generation, creating that excellence in our workforce that creates the new jobs of a new economy. Elections are about choices. You understand that better than most. And you understand that progress is a choice. Job creation is a choice. Whether we improve education or not is a choice. Whether we improve the learning environment and the conditions of learning, these are all choices. Whether we move forward or whether we move back, this too is a choice. And that's what this election is all about. Make no mistake about it. The progress we've been able to make here in Maryland has been made possible by the leadership and the investments made possible by President Barack Obama. I know that none of us agrees 100% with any elected official. I know you've had differences with some of the means and the measures and some of the other things proposed by the Obama administration where education's concerned. But can you imagine where education jobs would be, where the education of our children would be, had the president not led courageously in his first 2 months in office to pass the Recovery and Reinvestment Act? You know, we're patting ourselves rightly on the back for the $1.8 billion we've increased our investment in education since 5 years ago. But I'll tell you what, during the depth of the Bush recession, there was about $700 million, I think, a year that came in to education. Without those dollars, class sizes would have gone way up. We can do a lot of things together, but I cannot manufacture money off the White Oak desk in the governor's office. And President Obama saved our trajectory, saved our progress, and saved countless numbers of teaching jobs with the Recovery and Reinvestment Act. And so the choice, I think, in this national election is clear. And I know in your membership we have Democrats and Republicans, and I love Lincoln. I'm looking forward to going to the new Lincoln movie. I hope the proud party of Lincoln reemerges at some point, because the truth of the matter is we need both wings to function in order for this eagle to fly. But the choice is very clear in this election. I mean, if you want less funding for education, you vote for Mitt Romney. If you want more funding for education and more improvement for education, you vote for Barack Obama. Get this, notwithstanding the new etch-a-sketch approach that we've seen from Governor Romney after he twisted himself into a right-wing ideological anti-worker, anti-teacher pretzel to appease the Tea Party minority that currently controls his party and our House of Representatives, Mitt Romney actually said that it was President Obama who doesn't get it. He said, and Romney said, we need less firefighters, less teachers, and less police. Now, he'll deny that now, but that's what he said. I thought one of the more revealing elements of the campaign the other night came when the so-called businessman wouldn't show us as Americans his business plan. How about that? So we can move forward with President Obama, or we can go back with Mitt Romney. We can move forward supporting our friend Ben Cardin and returning him to the United States Senate to fight for educators and education. We can move forward by electing John Delaney in the 6th Congressional District. We can move forward by passing Question 5, which is the congressional redistricting map that will give our president a better Congress. We can move forward, or rather we could move back by eliminating the dream for kids whose only country they've ever lived in, the only country they've ever loved is our country. Or we can move forward in Maryland by passing Question 4, the DREAM Act for every kid in Maryland. We can move back by letting Maryland money pay for schools and pay for education in West Virginia, or we can move forward by voting for Question 7 to keep more Maryland dollars in Maryland. And last but not least, we can move forward by passing civil marriage equality and voting for Question 6. So yes, the question's always the same in one respect, isn't it? You know, do we move forward or do we move back? And in this election, if you want less funding for education, you vote for Mitt Romney. If you want more funding and more progress for education, we vote for President Obama. If you want less dollars for Maryland education, then, like Peter Franchot, you vote against Question 7. If you want more dollars for Maryland schools, then you vote for Question 7. And let me share just one final thought. The reason that we have been able, even in this down recession, to achieve the progress that you have achieved in our classrooms is because together we showed that we could get results. That if we invested more as a people, that our kids and our teachers, our principals, our parents would not let us down. They would improve their achievement. They would work harder. They would make us proud by having more kids passing AP exams than any other state in the country. That was not something that was done. That was not something that was done by itself. It was a choice. And part of that choice required a sacrifice on all of our parts, right? We're all paying another penny on the sales tax. Those of us that are in the top earning 16% of our state are paying more in our income tax. We have invested to make this happen. It didn't fall from the sky. But a A part of that $1.8 billion in additional education funding, in fact, I think at current count a little less than $200 million, came from expanded gaming in Maryland. It came from expanded gaming in Maryland that was passed by every single county in the state in referendum a few years ago. Question 7 would add one more site in Prince George's County. Question 7 would also add table games in the other sites, and it would add additional dollars to support the education mission in Maryland. Does it replace what we do through our taxes? Heck no. But you know what? It is an important part of it. It's an important part of it. There are no easy choices in these times. None of the things that we have done were ever overwhelmingly popular. But we all agree we want a better life for our kids. We all agree that we want more opportunity for the next generation, not less. We want more jobs for the next generation, not less. If we want more for our kids, and then we have to be able to pull together the consensus and the dollars necessary to give them a world-class education. That's what this organization is about, and it's been my great honor to serve at your side in this noble battle. So as Marylanders, as you approach that ballot and you approach this decision among yourselves, have your dialogues, have your disagreements, and then go to the polls. Please, vote to move forward. Vote for Barack Obama, and vote for Democratic Congress members, and vote for all questions. Thanks very, very much.